I'm starting to see a pattern in this show. The types of movies I choose to cover are a given. They obviously tend to be of the underrated and low-budget variety, but there's something else. I spotlight a lot of movies where the lead role is played by an ex-athlete of some sort. Fucking hell comes to Frogtown, Stone Cold, Abraxas, and that TV show pilot starring Jesse Ventura and Roddy Piper. Granted, most of these feature pro wrestlers, and only one featured a former football player, that being Brian Bosworth in Stone Cold. So I think it's time to level the playing field. In the films that I've showcased featuring former athletes, the premise in them has mainly been that of action. And yeah, that does tend to be a fitting role for a jacked pro wrestler or football player. But what about a serial killer? Just as fitting. This is the long-forgotten Lyle Alzado prison slasher flick, Destroyer. Now, the first thing that I should probably address here is my viewers who know who Lyle Alzado is and my viewers who don't. Those of you that watch my show, that know of and have seen many of the movies I review, yeah, you probably want me to just shut my fucking mouth and get on with it. But for those of you that watch the show simply because you like it and have seen maybe a small percentage, if at all, of the shit that I tend to spotlight, fucking whoosh! You maybe might want to know who the guy is, right? Yeah, thought so. Lyle Alzado was an absolute badass of the football field. In fact, that's what he's mostly known for. He's had a couple bit parts in movies like Ernest Goes to Camp, but the legacy this guy left behind is being one of the toughest motherfuckers to ever play for the Oakland Raiders and a few other teams.
Oh, the Denver Broncos!
He died in 1992 of a brain tumor, which he claims was the result of many years of steroid abuse. Whatever the cause may have been, I find it a damn shame that he wasn't in more movies, because the guy was fucking awesome. Destroyer begins with a flashback/dream sequence introducing us to serial killer Ivan Moser. He's big, he's bad, he squeezes doll heads, he's fucking crazy. He watches game shows, and just look at him. He's fucking huge, bro! Okay, so he's jacked something fierce, but so's Jason Voorhees. So what sets this maskless Jason apart from the other giant killers of the slasher genre?
Ivan Moser, you've been sentenced to die in the electric chair for the rape and murder of 23 men, women, and children. You have any last statement?
24.
Okay, I'm convinced. Ivan Moser officially makes Jason look like weak shit. But let's try to get this straight. 23 men, women, and children? Now wait, does that mean like all together? Like during a mass murder it came to a total of 23 with casualties being men, women, and children somewhat equally, like maybe 8 men, 7 women, and another 8 kids? Or is it literally like 23 men, 23 women, and 23 children? Because holy fuck, that's a lot of rape, man. This crazy fucker's defining trait seems to be killing for the pure sake of being the sickest son of a bitch alive, not because he actually enjoys it or anything. This is the guy Freddy and Jason invited out for poker night and never called again because he's too much of a nutcase for even the likes of them.
Pictures and bitch.
Awakening from the dream flashback is Malone, an ex-prison guard that was working the night of Ivan Moser's execution. Her boyfriend David is a screenwriter currently working on a women in prison flick being filmed in the same one that Moser was supposedly executed in. Supposedly? Who writes this bullshit? During the night of Moser's execution, a riot broke out and much of the prison trashed in the process. The switch was flipped on the electric chair, but Moser's body was never found after the chaos had ended.
So what you're telling me is that Moser's still alive?
I'm telling you, Ivan Moser is half alive.
No, maybe he's like that guy in the Halloweens that keeps getting killed, but Bobby Ewing's wife keeps waking up. So he doesn't know if he's dead or just dreaming. Maybe he's like that.
Bobby Ewing? That must be from the lost version of Halloween 3 that actually had Michael Myers in it. The former warden of the prison catches wind of the film on TV, and his reputation is at serious stake because David is revealing just how messed up things were in the prison and that the riots were likely due to incredibly shitty conditions. But within minutes, Ivan Moser just exterminates him in a bathroom stall. While the warden didn't really matter that much, this next character does.
Sharon, darling, can you in all honesty call that running?
Bobby, my smock was too tight.
Yesterday it was too loose.
All right, once more, please. First positions.
Anthony Perkins is in this film as a snarky director. Why? Why not? That's probably a better career move than Psycho 2, or Psycho 3, or... Oh, what the fuck? Does that actually exist? Come on, IMDb. Now you're just fucking with me. Well, though I haven't seen Psycho 4 The Beginning, I'm willing to bet that it's about 8 million times better than this festering pile of AIDS-infested dog shit. AIDS-infested dog shit. Might be stepping a bit too close to angry video game nerd territory there. Not that James Rolfe is AIDS-infested dog shit, just kind of sounds like something he'd say, you know? Okay, so we've got a film here where Anthony Perkins is directing a women in prison film, in a prison where a serial killer played by Lyle Alzado survived an execution and is now living in the catacombs, awaiting the return of David's girlfriend Malone, who the film seems to suggest that he's infatuated with in an incredibly rapey way. All of this put together, and what do we get? Okay, so what is Lyle Alzado? Lyle Alzado is huge, fast, and deadly. Is Lyle Alzado a big-ass motherfucker? Yeah, I'd say he is. Are any of my words going to do him any justice? Fuck no, but this might.
I got the speed, I got the bulk, I'm lean and mean and swift and tough and big and fast, yeah! It's like a ninja man had sex with the Hulk and gave birth to some kind of crazy ninja. Oh, it's the cry of the cougar, the fist to the face.
This isn't the last time that an athlete would go into slasher mode. In 2005, Bill Goldberg played a killer Santa in the wonderfully spastic Santa's Sleigh. And the massive Glenn Kane Jacobs played Jacob Goodnight in the 2006 WWE-produced slasher film See No Evil. Around the same time that Destroyer came out, there were two other prison-based slasher films, Rennie Harlin's Prison in 1987 and Wes Craven's Shocker in 1989. Destroyer came out in 1988, directly between the two. All three films have a pretty similar plot. They all fall on the somewhat supernatural side, with the serial killer exacting revenge from beyond the grave, though Shocker doesn't really take place in a prison for the entirety of the film, like Prison and Destroyer do. Though like Destroyer, the killer is built like a brick shithouse and over the top. Am I suggesting that Shocker could be an intentional combining of elements from Prison and Destroyer? Yeah, maybe I am. It's not like Wes Craven doesn't aim for elements of genre satire. Besides Lyle Alzado and the iconic Anthony Perkins, another highlight of the film is Deborah Foreman. She was in the cult classic April Fool's Day and starred alongside none other than Nicolas Cage in one of his first movies, Valley Girl. Deborah's scenes with Lyle Alzado are absolutely unforgettable, probably because they're really fucking bizarre and creepy in an uncomfortably rapey way. Since this was a horror film that had Anthony Perkins in a major role, naturally, a nod to Psycho was written into it. Before the director and basically the rest of the cast and crew for the Women in Prison flick are killed off, they're shooting a raunchy shower scene, and of course, there's Ivan Moser perving on them through a peephole, just like the famous scene in Psycho before old Norman Bates knifes the chick in the shower. Now, what was it they said about Ivan Moser during the opening scene of the film?
You've been sentenced to die in the electric chair for the rape and murder of 23 men, women, and children.
Yeah, Perkins and crew get killed off-screen, but I think it's safe to say that a little more than that happened to them beforehand. Or afterward. It never really specified what order he did it in.
It's the cry of the cougar, the fist to the face. I'll snatch you up like Freddy Krueger. There's blood